Hello students, welcome back to the discussion on Indian Society PYQs, and today we shall be discussing next question. So let's start. Our question is, the ethos of civil services in India stands for the combination of professionalism with nationalistic consciousness, and you have to elucidate. Okay, so what is the meaning of to elucidate? In elucidate, you have to clarify the meaning of the question, what is the idea of the question. Then you have to provide various dimensions related to that idea, and you have to justify these dimensions with various examples. And then also you have to suggest that how, see here we have clarified the idea of the question, right? Now you have to suggest that how this idea works in reality. So this is the whole concept of to elucidate. So this word only will guide your complete question. Okay, so let's discuss in brief what the question is trying to say and what should be the basic framework of the question. Okay, so first of all, what is the meaning to elucidate? To clarify the idea of the question. So basically we can use it as an introduction only. Okay, so what will be the introduction? That the ethos of civil services combine two factors. First is the professionalism and second is the national consciousness. So these all things will be in the introduction, that you have to decode the question or clarify the idea of the question. So this you have done. This is one thing. Now what is the second idea of to elucidate? To discuss the various dimensions of the question. So now let's discuss what all dimensions you can write here. See, first of all, two factors are asked in the question: the combination of professionalism and the nationalistic consciousness. So two dimensions you are already getting, right? So first of all, you can write that in Indian civil services, what is the professionalism or what is the meaning of professionalism? So this will be the first point. Okay, what will be the second point? Second will be the what is the nationalistic consciousness in civil services. These two things were given in the question only, right? So you can create two dimensions here. Now the whole idea of the question is that the ethos of civil services, that is the values of civil services, are the combination of these two things. So in third dimension, you have to justify with examples that how you can combine these two factors, then they will become the values of civil services. Okay, so this will be the third dimension. And what I have discussed in to elucidate, you have to give the examples also. So you have to provide the examples. So either you can provide examples for all these three things, for separate these two and for the combined, or you can provide the example for this also, not a problem. Now, a very important thing or extra dimension which you can add is, see, the question is asking about the combination, right? The values of civil services combine these two things. So you can add an extra dimension that what will happen if only professionalism is there. Okay, so this will be another dimension. And next dimension will be, the subheading will be, what will happen if only nationalistic consciousness is there. Okay, so in this way, it will show to the examiner that I have understood the question very deeply. So you have presented all the dimensions to the examiner, and finally you can provide the conclusion. So it must be some forward-looking conclusion. So see, basically what is the main purpose, what is the ultimate aim of civil services? To serve the people, to serve the nation, right? So in that way, you can write some forward-looking conclusion that the combination of these two factors in the civil services will ensure that no one is left behind, or something like that. So we have discussed just the framework. We haven't discussed what, all details you have to write. This is just the basic framework of the question. This is how your question must look. These all dimensions must be there in your question. And please focus on this keyword, on this directive to elucidate, because this will direct your question. Because this has only said, first you have to clarify the idea. You have to provide the dimensions. You have to break down the topic. This first will be this factor, second will be this factor, third will be the combination of these two things, and finally the conclusion. Okay, so this is just the framework. Okay, now let's discuss in brief what all things you can write. Then I will provide the time of 7 minutes, then you can write your answer. Okay, the ethos of civil services, that means the values of civil services. the values of civil services. So see, as you have already read in GS paper 2, the governance, or GS paper 4, ethics. So you already know, right, that what are the values of civil services. They can be accountability, transparency, integrity, empathy, compassion, these all things, right. So the question is on values of civil services, and no further other things are asked. Now please answer this question. Why this question on civil services is asked in GS paper 1, that is the Indian society. What is the reason of that? Because see, you can easily say that the ethos of civil services, maybe it can be the question of GS paper 4 or GS paper 2, in GS paper 2, the governance. Why the question is asked here? See, in GS paper 2, we are discussing about governance, right? The role of civil services in India, the role of civil services in democracy, what are the reforms in bureaucracy, these all things. So basically, in GS paper 2, we discuss mainly the administrative part of civil services. We discuss what is the significance of civil service. We discuss what are the functions of civil service. But in GS paper 1, what we will discuss in GS paper 1, that what is the role of civil services in Indian society. That means what are the expectations of general public from civil servants, and how the civil servants are responding towards the need of nation, towards the need of society. Okay, in what manner civil servants are acting as an agent of social change. Okay, in what manner civil servants are able to ensure secularism, are able to deal with the issues like communalism and regionalism. So this is because this topic is asked in GS paper 1. So it's not like you will write all the ethical terms, and it's not like you will know the answer you have prepared for civil services. For GS paper 2 or 4, you will write all such answers. You have to show that this answer is for GS paper 1, so you have to use the terms like secularism, communalism, regionalism, these all things. Okay, so this is the reason it is asked in GS paper 1, because here you have to show the societal aspect, the national aspect. Okay, so this is the reason. Let's discuss that. First of all, as we discussed, we will decode the question. How you will decode the question? So see, basically the values of civil services. Okay, so it is saying the values which we have discussed about, accountability, integrity, empathy, compassion, these all things. It is saying that these values are combination of two factors. One factor is of professionalism, okay, and second factor is of nationalistic consciousness. Okay, we have just decodified the question. We have just clarified the meaning, that these are the values of civil services, and these are the mixture of two components, this and this. That's it. Introduction done. Now, what is the meaning of professionalism in civil services? See, professionalism means being on time. Professionalism means meeting all the deadlines, following all the laws, rules and regulations, being a skilled professional, being technically sound. This is the meaning of professionalism, right? Now, what is the meaning of national consciousness? See, national consciousness meaning social consciousness, meaning responsiveness towards the need of the people, being empathetic, being compassionate towards the need of the people. So this is the meaning of national consciousness. Okay, now we understood the meaning. Okay, now let's discuss one or two examples related to these points individually. Then we will combine also these 2 points. Okay, so for example, if I am talking about professionalism, then the example of T.N. Sesson is very good here. See, what T.N. Sesson did, he used his powers and he imposed a tight election code of conduct. And because of this tight election code of conduct, he was able to conduct free and fair elections in India. So what he did, he used his professionalism. How he used his professionalism? He knew about his powers. He knew what all responsibilities and powers he has, and he knew that he can do these things. He was well aware of that. Okay, so he used his skills and powers to ensure free and fair elections in India. Okay, now coming to national consciousness. What example you can give here? National consciousness, like qualities like empathy, compassion. So here you can discuss the example of IPS officer Kiran Bedi. So what example of Kiran Bedi? The Tihar jail reforms. So what she did in Tihar jail reforms? She changed the concept. She told, instead of punishment, we can take measures to reform the criminals. She introduced the idea of vocational training in the jails. She introduced the idea of meditation. So, how we can relate this with Kiran Bedi? It is national consciousness or social consciousness or responsiveness towards the need of the people. Okay, so we discussed these ideas separately. Okay, now let's combine these ideas. Now we are combining this idea, we are discussing the third dimension, how the ethos combines the both, how the values of civil services combines the both options. So that is the professionalism and national consciousness. Okay, so see, before discussing this, first of all, you must know the difference also, that what will happen if only this is there and what will happen if only this is there. Then we will combine both of them. Okay, for example, if I am talking about only if I have professionalism and I don't have national consciousness, what will happen? See, I will give you an example. For example, there is a flood in a village. Okay, and there is an urgent need of relief materials, right? So if you are only a professional and not conscious person, what you will say that yes, I know that relief material is required, but first of all, I will clear or I will do all the legal formalities, then only I can release the relief material. And what is the result? The people will suffer because the need was urgent. Okay, so this is the thing if you are only just a professional person and not a conscious person. Now, second thing, what will happen if you are just conscious person and not professional? See, conscious person, for example, if you are very emotional officer and there is a situation of drought in your area. And being an emotional person, you just declared that I will provide water to all the farmers. I will open all the gates of the dam. Okay. Now what will happen? You haven't studied the water data. You haven't consulted to the engineers. You haven't done any groundwork. You just declared that you will open all the dam gates. Now what will happen? This can result in the situation of flood in downstream areas. Okay, and because of this, the water level in the dams will also become very low, and it can lead to the scarcity of fresh water. So what happened? Since you were a conscious person, you were responsive towards the need of the people, you just declared, but you haven't planned anything. Okay. So see, what is the conclusion here? That professionalism will make you an efficient person, but national consciousness will make you humane. In other words, you can say that national consciousness will provide you the goal, what you have to do. But the professionalism will provide you the method, the ways. So basically you can say that national consciousness is the ultimate goal and professionalism is the method to reach. Professionalism is the means to reach that ultimate goal. Okay, so now when I have combined these things, so coming to the previous example of floods, so if a person has both of these qualities, what that person can do? See, if there is a situation of flood and there is urgent need of relief material and you have to do the formalities also, what a conscious and professional person will say that yes, I know there is urgent need of relief material and the lives of people are more important than the legal formalities. So let's just release the relief material. Formalities can be done later. So what he did? He was a conscious person, so he responded towards the need of the people. And secondly, he was professional also, so later he did all the legal formalities also. Okay, so in this way, we have combined both of these qualities. Also, a very recent example you can give about IAS officer P. Narhari. See, this is very good example you can use as a case study in answers also. So, see, IAS officer P. Narhari, what is his story is, he is the man behind India's cleanest city. India's cleanest city, that is Indore. Okay, so what he did, he used all the social media platforms to connect with the public, to take all the feedbacks from the public. Okay, and second thing what he did was, he started a musical movement. What was this musical movement? No, the garbage trucks, all the garbage trucks will move from area to area with this song called Ho Halla or Indore Banega #1, these kind of songs. So what was the result of this? No, the people became aware about the cleanliness. The people became aware about the significance of clean environment. So as a result, now Indore is the cleanest society. So now how he combined these two things? He used professionalism, that means he used his skills. He used social media to connect with the public. Okay, he used some kind of creativity that this kind of musical movement can create awareness among the people. And what was the national consciousness? No, he was well aware that what will be the significance of clean environment. It can lead to good health. It can lead to skill development. It can lead to inclusive development. So he combined, in this way, he combined both of these qualities. Right. So in this way, we discussed all the dimensions of this question. And finally, you can conclude in this way only, that a civil servant must possess all these two components. Then only we can say then only we can ensure sabka saath, sabka vikas, or then only we can ensure leaving. See, this leaving no one behind is the goal of SDG 2030. So you can use this line anywhere. Okay. So I think I have discussed what all should be written in the question. Now please pause the video, write your answer for 7 minutes. Then we shall be discussing the detailed answer. See, in introduction, you can decodify the question, or you can write something about civil services. Like civil services in India are the backbone of administrative machinery. Administrative machinery, and are expected to uphold the constitutional values. These all things, through these all things, you can just clarify the question. Now, coming to how does professionalism can be included in civil services, or what does professionalism mean in civil services. So basically, I have discussed all these things. That what is the meaning of professionalism? Maintaining integrity, accountability, political neutrality, following all the rules, these all things. And the example of T.N. Sesson I have already discussed. Coming to next part about the national consciousness. So now we discussed what are the characteristics of national consciousness, and we gave example of Kiran Bedi. Now next, that what will happen if we have combined both of these things, the professionalism also and national consciousness also. Okay, and here we gave example of P. Narhari, the social media and other citizen engagement. Now coming to the conclusion. So see, the conclusion, leave no one behind also you can use, and this is very good line. So you can use this also, that civil servants are not just executors of policy, but architects of nation's destiny.